You know, I hate to say anything that is anti-Jewish because of the history of the Jews for the past 2,000 years, if not longer. I criticize the Israeli government. I criticize Netanyahu, and I feel compelled to criticize the ultra-Orthodox Jews who are as insane as ultra-Orthodox Muslims and ultra-Orthodox Christians. That's one of the reasons when I talk about Stephen Miller, a little bald-headed bastard who looks like Goebbels, looks like Joseph Goebbels to me, who is part of Trump's exterior brain cells. Stephen Miller is an evil little fuck, and he writes a lot of the anti-immigrant stuff that Trump comes up with. It was Stephen Miller's idea to separate children, take children from their parents when they cross the border, put them in cages. Stephen Miller is an evil little Jew, a nasty little Nazi Jew. I also have difficulty sometimes criticizing African Americans because I understand their history in this country. But when it comes to this crazy son of a bitch named Mark Robinson, a black man who is now the Republican nominee for governor of the state of North Carolina, Mark Robinson, who is a Nazi black man, only worse. Mark Robinson is just horrifying. He currently is North Carolina's lieutenant governor. How that happened, I have no idea. Somebody with the radical, insane. I mean, this fucker makes Trump look normal. He has hurled hateful remarks at everyone from Michelle Obama to the people who survived the Parkland school shooting. He's called the LGBTQ community filth. This black devil has threatened to use his AR-15 against the government if, quote, it gets too big for its britches, end quote. He wants to outlaw all abortion as well as return women to a time when they couldn't vote. He ridicules the Me Too movement. He ridicules women generally. And he thinks climate change is a bunch of horseshit. This black Christian devil, oh, by the way, he's also a Christian pastor, but he is a black Christian devil. I talk about white Christian devils. This son of a bitch happens to be a black Christian devil. He also is a Holocaust denier. Never happened, according to this black demon. He peppers his comments with anti-Jewish slurs. He suggested, to show you how fucking crazy he is, he says the 1969 moon landing was a fake, that the attack on Lower Manhattan was an inside job on 9/11. He said the music industry is run by Satan, and that the billionaire Democratic donor George Soros, who happens to be a Jew, was the one who orchestrated back 10 years ago the Boko Haram kidnappings in Africa of schoolgirls. I mean, this guy is fucking crazy. In addition to being crazy, he is a black devil. Just like Stephen Miller is a white devil. Like so many of these white Christian pastors are white devils. I mean, they just are. But I will not hesitate to identify a Jew or a black man or a Muslim or a Christian who is fucking insane and yet has the attention, for some reason, of voters, people who are paying attention, or the Orange Devils brain trust. Now, Trump referred to this guy. Where is it? Trump endorsed Robinson before the primary the other night, Tuesday night in North Carolina. Trump endorsed him. And even though most people know within the state of North Carolina how sick this black devil is, Trump said this, quote, "This is Martin Luther King on steroids." I told that to Mark. I said, "You're better than Martin Luther King. I said you are Martin Luther King times 2. Well, Trump went on, he looked at me. I wasn't sure he was angry because that's a terrible thing to say, or was he complimented? I have to figure that one out. End quote. Mark Robinson, a black Christian devil. I mean, this guy is as much a satanic presence as Trump is a white satanic presence. He, in spite of all this filter, I think this is one more indication. The reason I bring this up, this is one more indication of just how fucked up the Christian Fascist Party has become. The dregs, the maggot-infested remains of the Republican Party. This is how fucked up they've become. Someone like this is Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina. I mean, who voted him in? Did black voters vote for this guy? Did white voters vote for this guy? In spite of everything that this sick fuck is involved in and all of his comments and the shit he believes in, he's not only been able to win his party's nomination for governor, but he did so Tuesday by a margin of 45% over his rivals. Something has slipped. A gear is broken. A ramp fell down. Something mechanical has gone to pieces in North Carolina politics. Now, it stands to reason, doesn't it, that, well, I love the state of North Carolina. I went to school there. I've lived there twice. I love North Carolina. But something is really fucked up when this kind of a demonic presence can all of a sudden, thanks to the voters in North Carolina, be the number one candidate now who's going to run against the Democrat. And the Democrat is a Jew. This will be interesting, won't it, huh? Given the fact that Mark Robinson has said things about Jews. I mean, he says the Holocaust never happened, among other things. Oh my God, I can't believe this. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. The Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.